Hey, Polsci, Daniel here. So I'm going to be doing a small presentation on my paper. My paper was on St. Augustine of Hippo and the City of God, or the Two Cities framework. So the main idea is that earthly governments can create order, but they can't produce full justice or lasting peace without God. So just for some historical context, Augustine wrote City of God after the sack of Rome in 410 CE, when people blamed Christianity, specifically the pagans, for the downfall of the empire. His response to that was City of God, and he wrote about two symbolic cities formed by two different loves. One built on the love of self and pride and ambition, chasing power and status. That's the city of man. And the city of God is built on the love of God and oriented towards eternal peace and salvation, things that Augustine says that government can't get without God. So the key point is that they're not literal places. They overlap in history, societies, and governments. So the government can reflect some good and order in writing laws and enforcing those laws, but they can never replace the higher community that belongs to God. So, in that view, justice and political authority, Augustine thinks that justice is giving each other their due, so including giving God what is owed, so reverence, worship, and the idea of justice for all, really. The problem is that political systems are built on human power and are fundamentally incomplete. But the point is not that Augustine is anti-government, because government is necessary. Humans tend to move towards conflict and disorder, and rulers, laws, and institutions matter within the limits of the city of man. And there's two kinds of peace in Augustine's view. There's the earthly peace, which is basic stability that governments try to secure, not getting into wars and protecting their people, having safety, cooperation, things like that. And then there's eternal peace, which is the perfect tranquility of order under God. So it's everything in its right place. And the way that they connect is that governments can point towards eternal peace by protecting people and encouraging moral behavior, but it can't produce it because that peace belongs solely to God. That peace is beyond politics. And to contrast, Machiavelli, in The Prince, he stated that power, military strength, and effectiveness were trump morality. Like, a ruler must learn to not be good, and the ends justify the means in Machiavelli's perspective. And Augustine thinks that political authority is only legitimate when it's tied to a higher moral and spiritual code and is accountable to God. The key difference, I would say, is Machiavelli is like more strategic, and it's more of a game of learning how to work people and get the upper hand, while Augustine has a moral accountability to God stance. Like, the fact that government has some good aspects and is necessary for men, but it cannot produce a holy, truthful good. So in conclusion, Augustine thinks that politics matter, but that they're limited by man's limitations, such as sin and just moral, being immoral sometimes. So governments create order and some justice, but only God provides peace and justice in the end. And that's Augustine's view. And I mean, that matters today because I feel like, personally, faith and morality and political power kind of all relate, because it doesn't really matter what faith you believe in, because I believe that there's like an ultimate good that you can achieve, but sometimes you need to look beyond government to get that. You need to do some personal accountability and be like, all right, this is good, this is bad, regardless of what government says. So yeah, that's just a little breakdown of my paper. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a nice one.